Life can get messy, but your training doesn't have to. Join Cycling adapts to your schedule. Even if you've only got 30 minutes, Join makes it count. Sign up for an annual plan through the link in our show notes for the best cycling training app on the market. La Vuelta, stage 6 from Olot to Pal Andorra. I can see the finish from my house. We had rainy conditions today, nearly 4,000 meters of climbing across 170 kilometers, but a lot of big highway and gradual climbs. The opening 2 climbs were like 4%. The final finish, 8K 6%, 2Ks 9% in the middle, and the weather was pretty bad. But in the breakaway, we had Jay Vine, lives in the valley where this finishes, so obviously a very good finish for someone who's had success in, this is where he broke out in the Vuelta when he won stages a few years ago. We have 2 guys close on GC though. Torsten Trein is on 58 seconds. Bruno Armirel, the decathlon rider, is on 1:02. 2 teams with 2 riders, Shaw and Ryan and Garofoli and Vavaka for EF and Quickstep. Vingegaard all rugged up, but then the weather got a bit better in the valley road, the highway from Sardegna down to La Seu d'Urgell. It was not as rainy, not as cold, and they're on the pedals all day. It's big roads pretty much all day, and it was going to be a 2-pronged battle. We've got Vine and others, Fortunato, of course, good climber. Ryan was good in Andorra in the Classic recently for the stage win, and then Armirel Trein for the red jersey, and that's a big deal for these teams and these riders. On La Colmeia, the hardest climb of the day, 4Ks 8%. Vine looks around, seeing if he can get some help, but no one wants to help him because he's pulling so hard. We didn't see break formation, but apparently he was very strong there. Pablo Castrillo was there for Movistar, who he broke out for Equipo Confama, winning a break in the Vuelta last year. It starts raining. You see how changeable and variable the weather is. Mads Pedersen leading out in the points jersey, Giulio Ciccone into La Colmeia just 5 minutes before it wasn't raining on the breakaway, but nothing happens. Kelderman goes to the front, he starts pacing, the gap is not going down. So this was the make it or break it. If they didn't want the break to win, Visma Bike or another GC team, Pidcock, if they didn't want the break to win, you'd expect to see an acceleration from Kelderman here. Instead, Vingegaard's chatting, Koos is drinking some water, and Vine's attacking. When the gap was 3:55, he goes just to the top of Colmeia. He knows the descent. It's a little bit tricky, especially in the wet. There's some speed bumps coming up when you go through where the houses begin, down from Engola stairs, but at the same time, his teammate, João Almeida, we're seeing this for the first time. He's off the back, and it looks like he's letting the wheel go of Novak, the third on GC, the second favourite for the race. And we then got shown subsequently that he'd had a mechanical, but at the time we're like, what's going on? He was even dropping the wheel, you can see, but he was just pacing himself. Novak brings him back on, and it was just a mechanical. Here's the end of that descent where it can get a little bit tricky, where it's where the speed bumps. 2 of the Andorra guys, Koos, Soler, and Pidcock as well, are leading that descent. Peloton takes it pretty easy. No one wants to crash here, especially with the stage win not in play, no need to push. But for Vine, usually, conventionally, it's not good to attack early when you have 2 teams with 2 teammates behind. Ryan, who's in the front for EF, and Garofoli and Vavaka. But Ryan tried to bridge across, didn't get there. And then I think Shaw was kind of cooked. The group wasn't cooperating. Vavaka has a mechanical who gets dropped. Armirel and Torsten Trein, they don't think they can win the stage maybe anymore, and they're trying to drop each other for the red jersey. So Vine gets 50 seconds by the time he gets to La Massana village, and it's a minute when you see Castrillo attacking the break. It's undulating again on big roads on the way to the bottom of this climb. Here's where the climb officially starts, but it's not hard until you turn left and start going up to Pal. But little trek, I thought they were positioning, and then suddenly this pace was a little bit more than positioning. The gap goes down to Jay Vine. Torsten Trein drops everybody else in the breakaway. He looks like he's going to the red jersey. We still have 2Ks at 9% after the village of Pal here, where if Vine cracks, maybe Trein can come back to him. Trek have it in a line, and the big surprise of the day is Juan Ayuso drops from a group of like 30 on, it's not that hard a climb, and it's one he'd be familiar with too, most likely. He drops, and he said it wasn't a surprise. He knew coming into the race he was unlikely to be competitive for GC, but yeah, he loses 7.5 minutes today, and it's telling that UAE kind of expected it. They don't hold back Vine. Großschartner helps Almeida position. Soler doesn't wait for Ayuso. Here's the corner. The K.5 from here is quite steep. I also crashed in this corner, and you can see it's not my fault. In the winter, the shadow is always there. Even in summer, the shadow was there. There's ice on the inside where And it's, yeah, I lost my wheel. It's not my fault. That's what I keep telling my wife. She doesn't believe me. She just thinks I made a handling error. But here we see Baggioli start to wind it up, the Italian puncher. He's got it reduced a little bit more. 2Ks to go. At this roundabout, when they turn left to go to the ski station, it gets a lot easier. The K before, if you want to make a difference from the GC group, you have to do it. And after this point, you're not going to be able to drop anybody. And we see Baggioli. He's finished. Vingegaard can feel the pace coming out. He looks behind. Oh, wait! Giulio Ciccone attacks. Jorgensen and Kuss drop the wheel of Vingegaard. And where's Joao Almeida? He's not there responding immediately on the wheel of Vingegaard. Buitrago starts to pace with Kuss in the wheel. Buitrago's riding for Antonio Tiberi. Almeida's in the third group at this moment. Israel Prematec got Riccitello well placed. They're trying to bring him back up. And yeah, Almeida then isolated. He's got no teammates. And Vingegaard starts to pull. It matters a lot, the draft on this climb, but Ciccone doesn't really relay. The gap goes to about 10 seconds. At the same time, Vine wins the stage. Another huge win for him in the Vuelta. Probably going to win another stage, frankly. Trine takes the red jersey by dropping Amaury, or will he? If the how far behind are they? We then get coverage. It's all back together. They've gone through that roundabout. Almeida attacks Vingegaard, so he wasn't on a bad day. He was just doing his pacing thing, or maybe caught by surprise or out of position. Vingegaard responds, no counter-attack, and yeah, pretty much this was similar to the Aronsal stage in 2023 that Evenepoel won. Of course, the break wins here, but otherwise it would have been, yeah, just a GC rider sprint of 12 guys, which is what that finish was. I'd love to see them finish in Sorten on the shorter climb when you turn right instead of doing the full arc of this climb. Almeida opens the sprint, showing that he was maybe the strongest of the day in the GC group, but it's Javon, his teammate, who wins back-to-back stages for UAE Team Emirates. Trine second, then Fortunato, Armirel, Castrillo, Shaw, Vavaca, De Bruyne, Ryan. The GC group finishes 4:19 behind. Here's what Vine had to say.
How did you choose the right moment to attack?
Yeah, I mean, I know these roads pretty well. I'm from just down the hill, so Comella is my favorite climb in all of Andorra, and I would have normally liked to have done it way harder, but you know, with the headwind, it was hard to get the guys to really pull through and make it really hard, so I decided to go at the top, and with the wet descent, I know the descent really well, and I thought, okay, this is my chance to get away, and then there's no funny business, it's just mano a mano.
In terms of GC, big changes. Torsten Trine, maybe the highlight of his career, takes the red jersey by 31 seconds out of Armirel. The rest of the break, Fortunato and Vavaca, they also leapfrog Vingegaard. Vingegaard maintains his lead on Almeida. A slender one, 8 seconds, 9 seconds on Ciccone. He has Jorgensen in provisional 4th on GC. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you the recap tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.